These are the 10 most bloodthirsty monsters in Monster Hunter. First, let's describe bloodthirsty and the criteria. It must be a monster that is willing and prepared to fight and attempt to kill anything in its path for any reason. Hunger, anger, insanity, it doesn't matter. Bonus points to anything that actively seeks out conflict and not just attacking things that come into view. We are not taking into account their power. There are certainly a long list of creatures that are more powerful than many monsters on this list, but that's not what we're aiming for. We only care about relentless, insatiable bloodlust. Number 10. Bloodbath Diablos. This deviant is the nightmare version of Diablos, which are already incredibly violent and fueled by blind rage against anything that enters their territory. Intruders are immediately met with conflict in the form of 2 giant horns filled with anger. But Bloodbath Diablos is a step further. Not only does it have the same level of rage as the other forms, but it has a particular disdain for hunters or any form of humanoids. There are even legends of it besieging cities and nations in fits of genocidal cruelty. Number 9. Furious Rajang. You guys knew this one was going to be on here. This beast is a Rajang that is stuck in rage mode permanently. And to make matters worse, its tail is gone, ripped off by himself to allow him to capitalize on his full power. Furious Rajang are rage incarnate, and his hands are rated E for everyone. He will actively hunt down Kieran, but will attack any living creature that wanders into its sight. It's not just prepared for battle, but motivated by it. If a Rajang so much as spots a potential target, it will engage. Though it doesn't seem to actively seek out targets, just happily tearing apart anything that stumbles across its path. This lack of seeking out targets actively prevents him from being higher on the list. Number 8. Nergigante. This Elder Dragon Eater's violent nature quickly catapulted this monstrosity to being one of the fandom's favorite and most requested monsters to return in Monster Hunter Wilds. It actively seeks out and kills Elder Dragons, but will engage in a fight with anything, even if it wasn't the original target. Nothing crosses paths with a Nergigante and gets away with it unless they run away from it. And even that alone isn't enough. They have to be able to outrun it or hide from it, because the Nergigante won't stop. Number 7. Brute Tigrex. Regular Tigrex is, on its own, already known for blind aggression, but the Brute takes this to a whole new level. Brute Tigrex has a higher metabolism than its other cousins, driving it to roam around searching for something or someone to fill its belly constantly. It is even known to attack other Tigrex species on sight, making nothing safe from its raging hunger. Number 6. Chaotic Gore Magala. This is a special form of Gore Magala. What happens is when he's molting to try and become a Shagaru Magala, it gets interrupted by another already molted Shagaru Magala in the area that wants to eliminate the competition. This freezes any nearby Gore Magala that are actively molting, and they get forced out in a state that's trapped between its 2 forms. One half still Gore Magala, one half resembling Shagaru. But being stopped mid-molt leaves Gore Magala in a constant state of pain-induced agony, driving it insane while increasing its violence and aggression. They're wildly erratic, unpredictable, and lash out at anything in their way, and their state is fatal. Because of this, hunters are often tasked to hunt them down in order to stop their rampage and put them out of their misery. They are actively dying and have nothing to live for, and so they're determined to take you with them. Number 5, everyone's favorite bomber, the Bazelgeuse. I probably said that wrong, but I mean, follow me. You all knew this flying pine cone was coming. The bomber boy will not only attack anything it comes across on sight, but it actively flies around the map seeking a target to fight. Not for food, not to defend its territory, just to fight. It seeks conflict almost continuously and without rest, actively pursuing foes until the fight is done. There is no monster that the Bazelgeuse will not throw down with, and it can often hold its own. Not only that, if it sees other monsters that are already fighting, it will get jealous and has to get in on the action by dropping bombs across their battlefield. Number 4, Raging Brachydios. Now, while this guy doesn't actively seek out foes as aggressively as some of the others on this list, once it's in a fight, it's all in, and its bloodthirsty nature truly shines. With an almost unmatched level of fury in battle, this monster comes at any taker with everything it's got. And even if it's losing, it will risk itself with its own explosions in an attempt to bring its enemy down with it rather than flee. Once there is a fight initiated with Raging Brachydios, there are only 2 ways out: victory or death. 3. Scorned Magnamalo. Dubbed the ultimate menace, this monster is fueled by hatred. The Scorned Magnamalo is shrouded in hellfire at all times and will actively seek out dangerous monsters to battle and devour, actively engaging with and often overpowering elder dragons merely because it wants a fight. It wants a challenge it can run headfirst into. Number 2, Savage Deviljho. This beast's unending state of starvation has driven it completely mad, making it hell-bent on devouring entire ecosystems if given the chance. Its brutality and aggression in battle make its normal variant look pale in comparison, as it is in a constant state of maddened frenzy. It will indiscriminately attack anything on sight and is always roaming the wilderness, going from one fight to the next with no rest to be had, as its hunger cannot be satiated. Number 1, and I'm gonna say this wrong, Mouru Deontu. While little is known about Mouru Deontu, what we do know is that he's instantly violent and requires massive amounts of energy to survive. This leads him to attack and eat anything that crosses his path. Now here's where he gets really wild. Mouru has a black metal substance in its body that somewhat resembles blood, and it secretes this fluid from orifices on its body as a form of attack that can hinder enemy movement. Now, when it's having a difficult time ending its foe, it will get so angry that its violence becomes entirely reckless, and it will use any means of killing its target, up to and including tearing its own body apart and severely harming itself to spread its secretions in a rain cloud. So yeah, if it doesn't win fast enough, it will rip itself apart to rain its own blood on you so it can kill you faster. Subscribe for more!